You're welcome to this section. This section is going to be very much interesting because I have something very important for us to discuss. Initially, we talked about qualities of a good leader, but you see, one thing is to be a leader and another thing is to be an effective leader. So this section we are going to be talking about what effective leadership or leadership effectiveness. Leadership effectiveness. What then is leadership effectiveness? Leadership effectiveness is the key analyst of organizational success or failure while examining what the factor that leads to organizational success. You see? So it is what the key analyst of what organizational success. But if we should put it in a simple term, leadership effectiveness refers to what the capabilities of what an effective leader. It refers to the capability or the capability of an effective leader. So like I said earlier, one thing is to be a leader, but another thing is to be an effective leader. So at this moment, we are going to be exposing to us certain things that we need to know and do if we must be an effective leader. Although some of these things can also be seen in some of the qualities that has been stated earlier as part of what the quality of a good leader. So let's move straight away. The first thing we need to consider when we talk about effectiveness in leadership or leadership effectiveness, the first thing we need to consider is what? Personality. Personality. Now listen to this. Successful leaders have a pleasing personality. What? Successful leaders have a pleasing personality. Personality is the sum of physical, mental, and social quality of a leader. Personality is the only characteristics of a good leader to influence what? The subordinates. Is the only quality to be able to what? Influence what? Your subordinate. Now, it is important you know this. When we talk about effective leadership, you see, to be able to lead a team, you need to understand leadership effectiveness. And for this, it is necessary to learn and understand, to be understood later. If we want to change a situation, we must change ourselves. To be able to change effectively, we must also first change our perception. So our perceptions in life matters a lot. The changes that occurs in our mind as well matters a lot, because that will determine the subtotal of our decision-making processes. You see, now to also relate effectively with others, we must learn to listen, and this requires emotional control. You see, so listening requires having highly developed qualities of character such as what? Patience, being open to change and criticism, and also wanting to understand. It is important and effective to act from a low emotional level, give advice, and also direct at high emotional level. So to be able to lead a team, you must be able to change your perception. How do you change your perception? By introducing into yourself a new level of knowledge, because that is the only way you can change people. You cannot change people that that are higher than you in terms of knowledge, that are higher than you in terms of intellectual ability. So you need to have a high level of knowledge. Now, initially we talked about personality. We'll quickly move. The second thing that we are going to consider is human skills. What then is human skills? The human skills refers to interpersonal skills. Now, for every leader, the leader must understand the feelings, the emotions, and expectations of the subordinates. Remember, you are leading people. You're not leading cattle. You are not leading animals. You are leading people of people that have self-esteem. You are leading people that have emotions. They have their flaws and frailties, and at some point in their life they may tend to throw off character because they are flesh, they have blood in them flowing. So to be able to lead them effectively, you must understand their feelings, you must also understand their emotions and their expectations. People have expectations. You must also do what? understand their expectation. Now, such knowledge would enable the leader to develop interpersonal relationship with the subordinate. If you've been able to understand their emotion, understand their feelings, understand their expectations, it will help you to have a cordial relationship with them and to be able to tackle certain things and to be able to solve organizational problems effectively. Then we also have another thing to be considered. The number 3 characteristics of what makes an effective leader, of what makes a leader effective is what? Communication skills. A good leader is a good communicator of ideas. A good leader is a good communicator of initiative. You see, so effective leaders are good communicators. Effective communication in three critical areas is the key to win trust and what? Confidence of your subordinates. You must communicate. You must be able to communicate your ideas to the people you are leading and even to your superior. If you take out communication, you take out the relationship factor. If you take out communication, then you are otherwise exposing that atmosphere to danger. So to be able to lead effectively, you also need to be able to communicate effectively. Now, communication enables employees to understand the company's overall business strategy. There are different business strategies that have been put in place in every organization to see to it that the organization moves forward and the operations in the organization moves smoothly. So, to be able to enable a good workflow in the organization, we need to implement good communication skills. Your communication should be effective such that if there is a change in operation, such that if there are new strategies to be introduced in the company, you see, people will be able to understand that new strategy or the new innovations that is being put in place. Without this, the company will fall into destruction or doom. Then we also have administrative skill. What do we mean by administrative skill? Administration means what? Planning, organizing, directing and controlling. These are the key main areas when we talk about administration. You see, so leadership should be administered as required to undertake management function. The management function that we are talking about is that of what? Directing, is that of organizing, is that of planning, and is that of controlling. And these are the administrative skills that every good leader must have. Then we also have decision making. What do we mean by decision making? Remember, this is not just talking about effective leader, is not just about becoming a leader. You can become a leader, but you are not effective. Effective leader is about going the extra mile, taking the long and the short ways in which will help you to be able to lead the organization forward. You're going to undertake you're going to undertake a lot of risk just to make sure that the organization moves forward. So effective leadership is different from just becoming a leader. Everybody can become a leader, but not everybody can have effective leadership. Now, when we talk about decision making as part of what makes a leader effective, leadership effectiveness helps leaders in effective decision making. What do we mean by this? There is a need to identify problems accordingly. Now, when a leader is being caught in a very tight corner, the ability of the leader to circumvent and make appropriate decisions at that particular point in time, to such that the decision that leader makes will outcome success and becomes a benefit to the establishment, is what makes a good leader. So a good leader, an effective leader, must be able to make apt decisions at every point in time, provide solution, and that leader must be able to analyze the cost and benefit of every alternative solution. The cost and the benefit, you must weigh the cost and the benefit the implications of your decision. A good leader should be able to go out of his way to calculate the risk involved in whatever decision that he's going to take. Why? So that the company will not run at loss as a result of his wrong decision, but rather the company will benefit as a result of his right decision. Then we also have conceptual. A good leader must be conceptual. Leadership should be conceptual, as it helps to visualize and analyze problems or situations. A top level leader consider a long-term perspective. They need to handle difficult or complex situations. Every leader will be faced with complex or difficult situation, you see, but the ability of that leader to be able to conceptualize the idea and visualize it and be able to analyze it such that regardless of how difficult the situation is, he can dissect the situation and make it look so simple and be able to administer the kind of solution that will be able to give appropriate understanding or give appropriate solution to what the problem may need at that particular point in time, you see. And we also have innovation as another great quality of an effective leader. What do we mean by this? Leadership should bring in innovation in an organization. Of course, this is what an effective leader does. He brings good innovations into an establishment. Now, innovation should be creative, not just bringing innovation, but is that innovation creative? Does it have that tendency to change the course of the events that is taking place in the company or the organization? Therefore, the leader should have the imagination to develop new ideas or invent new strategies, you see, and handle the activities or situation that is in the company. So a good subordinate expects the leader to be innovative. When you are initiating ideas, the decision should be taken without causing delay and inconvenience to others. Therefore, leaders should initiate the subordinates as well. Then we will move over to the next thing that we'll have here, which is intelligence. An intelligent leader is efficient enough to make decisions and to deal with people. There is a need to have the intellectual ability to be able to the intellectual ability and the emotional intelligence to lead people. Now, this will enable effective leadership in taking the right decision, not only in the interest of the organization, but also in the interest of the employees. You will have the intellectual ability and the emotional intelligence to take decisions that will be of benefit to everyone in the establishment. Then we also have ethics and value. An effective leader must lead without cheating, without employing any form of cheating or manipulating the led. No, you don't do that. It is important to be honest. It is important to have integrity. It is important to have compassion. It is important to encourage others as a leader. This key factor must be maintained. Then we also have respect and trust. Nobody will want to trust you or respect you when you don't lead effectively. As a matter of fact, people are naturally drawn to leaders who they can trust and respect. If they fear you, they won't be drawn to you. They may end up carrying out certain jobs that you've given to them, but over a period of time, you see them shrugging because they don't trust what you represent. You do not trust what you represent. So you must build a loyal team, and a leader must be trustworthy. You can only build that loyal team through respect and trust. Then we also have delegation. Now, as a leader, you cannot do everything. You cannot be an island of yourself. You see, so the leader needs to delegate tasks effectively. The leader needs to know each member's strengths and weaknesses. You know the strength of your member and you know their weaknesses. You have been able to study them effectively. So in such, since you've been able to study them, you can now delegate tasks to them, knowing their strengths and their weaknesses. By so doing, you will discover that the organization's goal will be achieved. Then we also have appreciation. A leader should value each member and make each member feel valued. You should appreciate each member and make each member feel valued. Every member of the team feels their role is important and appreciated. If you don't appreciate the role in which a member plays in ensuring that the organization move forward, or in ensuring that a task has been done effectively, you discover that you will demoralize them, and that confidence that they have, you've been able to demoralize, and they won't have that confidence anymore. So you must appreciate them. When a job is done effectively, you must do what? Appreciate them. And even if you want to praise them in publicly and also praise them in privately. If you want to rebuke any team member, rebuke them privately and do not rebuke them publicly. If you rebuke them publicly, you will end up demoralizing them, and they will lose their trust and confidence in you. Then the last thing we are going to discuss in this section is handling success and failure. You see, it is very, very important to understand this factor, because success will come in life and failure will come in life. As a matter of fact, it is our failure that will even give us the push to move on. If you don't understand the vital role that failure plays, you won't be able to succeed in life. So it is very important that a great leader should know how to handle both success and failure. Celebrate the success when it comes, and in times of failure, learn from your failure and push on. Failure will come in life, but remember that whenever there is success, attribute it to the entire team. Remember, you're not working for yourself alone, you're working as a team, and team means together everyone achieves more. So when the team also faces failure, they should accept the responsibility for their failure and move on. If they are able to do this, then you discover that success will just be the next target in life. So handling failure and handling success is very, very important. This is the much we can go in this section. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so that by the time we post other videos, you will get the notification. Stay tuned.